All right, it's time to talk with our featured guest, Evelyn Lahiji. Evelyn, how's it going?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for having me on today.
No, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. If you don't mind me asking, where are you located right now?
I'm actually currently in West Covina, California.
West Covina, California. Okay. Kind
Yes.
of familiar with that area. My wife's from Hacienda Heights.
Okay. Sounds good.
Around there. Yeah. Nice. Awesome. So, can you kick things off with a quick snapshot? What kind of practice are you running today and what makes it different in how it operates or serves patients?
So we are a pediatric ortho dental office. We
Hmm.
currently have 17 locations. We have over 550 staff members, and we see approximately 33,000 patients a month. We have pedo and ortho in almost all of our offices. I started with the company when office number 2 was opening. And this year, we're going to be opening office 18, 19, and 20. So definitely a big growth from the single office that it started with.
Interesting. So let's rewind a little bit. You have 17 locations and they're all in LA area or
Yeah, it's all of them within like the 50-mile radius in LA. Yes.
do you ever feel like sometimes is the population just that big over there where you don't need to go to that office, you can go to this office because there's 17 in kind of like a condensed area, no?
With staff members or patients?
Both.
So with patients, we try to open our offices within 10-mile radius so that we're catering so that patients don't travel so much. But if we're opening a new office, staff members get excited because it's usually closer to theirs and we help them transfer to the new office. This way, it's a win-win situation. They already know the office, it's brand new. They get excited that they're starting an office from scratch. They build it up. They have their own new patients and the retention of our staff members are great. So the patients even travel with the staff members.
Interesting. And patients love that, don't they?
Absolutely. Because instead of them traveling 30 minutes to get to a dental office, now they're traveling 10 minutes to get to a dental office.
Yeah. Interesting.
Or it's down the street from their house.
Yeah, no, definitely. So then what research do you do in order to find a perfect spot or a great location where you're like, hey, this is 10 minutes away, but it still looks populated and we can attract new patients as opposed to it's 10 minutes away. It's close to a lot of our people who are coming, but maybe not new patients will be arriving from there.
Great point. So we have a KPI software. It's called Jarvis that is associated with Henry Schein, which also is associated with Dentrix Ascent. And we have Ascent and Jarvis is connected to it. And Jarvis basically tells me that this many of your patients are coming from this area. And then I see the mileage and it basically runs me down of where I should open my office. And then we also ask for our staff members to look up and give me a list of number of kids in that location under the age of 15. And if it's within 22 and a half to 3 kids per household, that's when we decide to open an office in that area. I have 1% that does the demographics.
Oh, they do the report on Jarvis. Oh, okay. And so those would be the good numbers, right? Anything below that, is there anything where you negotiate in your mind, you're like, still looks good or no?
We've done opening offices in areas when it's saturated with pedo offices or the number of demographics of the patients per household or the kids per household is low. With experience tells us that it doesn't get to profit fast enough.
So what is it looking like where you say this is a good speed that we're profiting opposed to it's too slow or is there such thing as too fast or no?
No, you want to get to your fast, right? You
Yeah.
open an office, you've already spent $1 million. You want to get to your profit as quickly as possible, at least break even. Give me something that I'm not putting out of my pocket. Because right when you open, you have a big loan and then you have to pay everybody and the office is not making anything. So our goal is always to get to breaking even within 12 months. Best case scenario is like 6 months. Worst case scenario is a year and a half.
So you would give it a year and a half and then it's like, okay, we've broken even. And that's like worst case scenario, but you still continue to push through with that.
Yes. We have never abandoned any of our offices. It's like our baby.
I was going to ask you that. There's never been an office that you guys were like, guys, it's been 2 years and we haven't broken even.
No, then we're doing something wrong. So the way I look at it, Michael, is that every office has a formula. Every section of the office, in order to be able to be successful, has a formula. If we're not becoming successful in that office, we are messing up on the recipe. And I have to rewind back, look at it, dig, find out what I'm doing wrong, who I'm not supporting. Are the new patients good? Are we treating the patients correctly? Is the treatment plan coordinator right? Is the doctor correct? Every part of it, dig to find out where the problem is, turn it around, fix it, and then I see profit.
Wow. So could you, Evelyn, give us the formula?
Absolutely. That's what I'm here for, right?
Okay. Wonderful. So then how does it start? If I'm listening to you right now, let's just say somebody's listening and Evelyn, I want you to tell me the formula from like the moment I'm open already, all the way to like, I want to go past break even.
First of all, you need strong staff members.
Mm.
You need trained people that love what they're doing. I have quotes on my wall and it says, great staff members bring great patients. Great patients give you great profit. That's one formula. To begin with, even a manager needs to have a great office, right hand and a left hand, so that they could depend on, so that they could delegate. Because if you think as a dentist, you want to be an assistant, a marketer, a CFO, a COO, CEO, it's not possible. You need to have manpower. So that would be the first part. Make sure you've got great staff. Number two, your marketing has to be on point. You need to make sure that you have targeted everything and anything you possibly can. One of the things that I always say is we accept every dental insurance on earth. No problem. Tell me what you want. We will let you in. We will see. Our doors are open to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
We'd be happy to see you. Once we get the person on the chair, are we diagnosing correctly? Are we utilizing AI to be able to show the treatment plan to the patient? Are we being able to take the best x-ray? Are we rolling out the red carpet so that they know they're walking into a four-season dental office that's amazing? Or do they walk in and it's dirty and messy and piles and gloves everywhere? How are you presenting? How are they excited to walk in and wait in your waiting room? And what are they observing? So once they're on the chair, once you're diagnosing, who's speaking with them? Are they offering payment plans? Are they offering full treatment? Are you just diagnosing one tooth or the full mouth? Are you offering Invisalign, ortho, implants, whatever your specialty is? And once you've done that and the case has been presented, did you close it? Did you collect everything? Did you start the treatment today? And once you start the treatment, did you make sure that you scheduled their next appointment and their 6 months cleaning? If you didn't sell it today, you better call them every single day, text them every single day until you get them back on that chair again and find out where you went wrong to make sure. And when you're talking to them, this is the heartbeat of your office. That's your patient. They're the most important person in your life. You will put everything aside and focus on that patient to be able to make sure they will come and bring everybody in their family with them. And they could be your walking advertisement. If you love us, refer us more patients. And give that. Say, I'll give you an electrical toothbrush today. Why don't you bring me 2 more patients just like yourself? We love them. And that's what they'll do for you. They'll be your marketer for a fraction of the price.
Wow. Okay. So then those are the strong staff members. Marketing has to be on point, target everything you possibly can, patience. And then from that point on, would that be the whole formula?
This is the beginning of it. If you're opening your office and you want to be able to have a strong foundation, work on those things. Then we could layer it. Are you looking at your numbers? Are you making sure you have goals for new patients? So I have a formula for this part also. Have to have a goal every month. So this is July 2nd. My goals for July was made already on June 25th. I have it. It's done. Everybody already knows. Number of new patients, number of production, number of collection, number of patients staying, number of recalls. Those 5 things you need to be looking at every single day, because if it goes down, you need to know why. If it goes up, you need to know why. If you're just running in the dark and your goal is $100,000, hope is not going to get you there. Your numbers will. So looking at numbers every morning to know what you're supposed to hit, and then looking at it every single night to make sure you got there is the formula in that area.
Actually, I love that. I love that how you mentioned hope is not going to get you there. It's nice to make a goal and then you're like, oh, it's good, guys. We got it. This is the goal. Cool. Let's work for it. But it's like the little stuff, right? The checking it, making sure. And I don't know if you've ever experienced this, Evelyn. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But I'm going to give you an example, like a bank account where my goal is to save this much, but you start spending, and then you start becoming scared to look at your bank account. So you maybe don't look at it. Does that happen in the same way with the practice where it's like you're noticing you're not looking at the goals or the everyday metrics?
I look at it every day. I don't miss a day. I look at it in the morning, middle of the day, and then I look at it at night. You're going from here to a destination you're not aware of.
Mm-hmm.
And for GPS, do you turn it on, look at the map, and then turn it off and just start driving? No, you need to look at the GPS every once in a while. The GPS needs to yell at you where you're going, or else you might make a wrong turn. And then you're going to a different location where you're not supposed to be. Or you get distracted, you stop for a bathroom break, and then you forget which way you were going. So you have to have that GPS tell you where to go. And that GPS is your KPI, the numbers that I just mentioned, new patients, production, collection. These are the numbers you want to look at every single day. If you hire a hygienist and you hope they're seeing 8 to 10 patients a day, is that going to happen? No, you can't hope on it. You have to make sure you're scheduling them 10 patients for 8 of them to show up. And if you don't keep that person accountable, no one's going to confirm them, right? Oh, I was hoping they would all show up. Or front desk was supposed to confirm them. Keep your hygienist accountable that for every one of them you come, you're going to get paid, because they're the biggest money-making people in the office and they're the most expensive one.
Okay, interesting. So then let's go with that right there, what you said. The hygienist, hey, they're the most expensive, money-making, right? And at the same time, this is your goal, hygiene department or hygienist. And then it's not going that way. You're like, this is the goal. We're watching it every day. We see it. But Evelyn, like, I'm not getting new patients. I can barely even afford this hygienist, or I'm going in the red because of this hygienist. I want to turn up my marketing, but I don't want to be weighed down by insurance or maybe their fee for service or whatever. Do you think at that point it's like, throw that fee for service out the window? You got to have to turn up the marketing, but then if you don't have the budget for it, like, where does that all tie in?
So that's when I like to keep people accountable. We do have 10 patients on the schedule and only 4 show up, and then everybody's giggling and laughing in the lunchroom. Then you keep your staff members accountable. Call every person in the past 6 months. Send them mass text messages. Make sure your software has the text messages and you have it on. Make sure you're confirming them 3 times until you speak with someone. Make sure they are going to show up. And if not, have a waiting list. Fill up all those slots. There shouldn't be anybody without something to do for the next 5 to 7 days sitting in the office. They should have goals that they're hitting, and they should be rewarded for their goals. Because once they get to their goal and they're rewarded, if they're challenging people, they will work harder for you and for themselves, because they know there's a return for that. This way, that's when you become successful, is because they see it as their own business. If I get 8 patients on my schedule and I see all of them, I get A, B, and C. And if I diagnose correctly and get the doctor in here, I get a little kickback from that too. And if I make sure we see the patient today, I'm also getting something on it. So it's a game, but unfortunately it needs to be played. Some people just don't care. They come in, they clock in, I clock out. And we know we need those. Those are the people that have to come in. They're billers. They have to finish the billing, and every position is valuable. Some of them are people person. Some of them are computer person. So we want to make sure they're in the right seat. If they're not that bubbly person who needs to be able to get engaged with the patient, Maybe they're not in the right seat. Maybe they should be somewhere else. So you need to make a decision where you're putting every staff member so they will be a win-win situation for them and for you. Again, there will be some people that love sitting in front of the computer for 8 hours a day doing billing. It might not be for you because you're a talkative person. But for that person, talking to someone else is torture. And for you, sitting in front of the computer 8 hours long is torture. It all depends who you are.
Interesting. Okay. So then if you had to, Evelyn, let's just say you're starting from practice number one, what key positions would you say you need to have in order to scale? Meaning like you have a front office or someone answering the phone, a scheduler and a front office and a back assistant or...
Great point. We're opening our next office on August 4th.
Wow.
And we have an office manager, a back office supervisor to make sure that everything is set. So a very strong DA. And then I have a registered dental assistant. So I have 2 people in the back. After the office manager, I have 1 more person to be that office manager's right hand. So I started an office with 4 people to begin with. And then from there, as soon as I see the office is picking up, then we add more staff members. But again, we're a fast-paced pediatric dental office. So we could have up to 25 staff members. But again, we have enough to pay every one of them, plus a fantastic bonus system. But for a GP office that's starting, I would definitely be able to bring some strong manager that has experience in marketing, that can alternate and leave the front desk and go market a little bit, that office is not left alone. The phone calls, you cannot miss not even one phone call. Even if the phone gets transferred to someone at night so that we don't miss afternoon phone calls. So that we are making sure we're at our patients' attendance at all times.
There's a couple of things you mentioned I want to ask, but one thing is have like our office manager that's good at marketing and go out and market. So specifically, what do you have them do with marketing?
So it all depends. If you have an office manager that's good at marketing, they'll understand a great website. They'll look at it and analyze it. They'll make sure that let's do a little bit of Google. Let's do a little bit of Yelp. Let's make sure that we're asking for great reviews so that you build it up, so that you're recognized. Making sure that we are pushing and asking for those reviews. Also being able to go out and market, walk around the GP across the street, walk around, introduce yourself to the neighborhood. What departments do we have? Is there a company that has a great dental insurance that I could go and meet them during staff meetings and pass out donuts to them? Whatever it takes. I used to manage a dental office years ago, and across the street was this new tech company that just opened. And one of their staff members walked into our office and their dental insurance max was $4,000. I walked with him back to his building, walked to their office and give out business cards to every one of them. There were like 150 people working in that office. And I brought like 50 of them over. What a big difference. And we went from here to here in one day.
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference. People don't know they have dental insurance. They probably go on 1 year with going to the dentist once, if that. And if we don't educate them, they don't know. So the good manager will watch for those things to be able to bring more new patients with that.
I like that. I like that a lot, going out and ground marketing. You also mentioned having a strong DA, like a supervisor in the back. So what qualities do you look for in order for them to be that?
Great question. The back office supervisors that I love, that I could picture, is a person who always tries to make sure everybody walks in happy, leave out happier. So when they're walking in, they make that experience in the back office so entertaining, so exciting. Even though if they have to get a shot, oh, guess what? You're going to get a shot, but you're not going to feel it today because you have the best doctor working for you. So this is the attitude they have. They not only make sure that patients are not waiting, and if they are going to wait, she jumps out there. I'm so sorry we're late. Here's a $5 gift back for Starbucks coffee on us. Let me get you in now. So she makes it so entertaining that if the patient was upset for waiting an extra 30 minutes, she solved it. She fixed it before the doctor walked in. Also being an amazing in every part what they do. Amazing dental assistant, 5 steps ahead of the doctor. If the doctor's going to change the treatment plan, she's already bending over, getting the right information and the instruments and putting it on the table. So listening, making sure the doctor sold something, message the front desk, send your TC, send the manager, bring them in. Let me go ahead. We need to do a sell over here.
Mm-hmm.
So being engaged, being in the same conversation with the doctor, patients feel that. When there is no connection between the doctor and the staff members and there's tension, patients walk in and they feel that, the heaviness of the office. But when it's happy and exciting, they like it also. And they refer patients.
No, that's true. 100%. And so you also mentioned the bonus system. What does the bonus system look like?
Let's talk about the manager. If I'm hiring a manager for an existing office, I like to tell them that the bonus system that we put together is, let's say the office is already doing $100,000 a month. I will give them a bonus system, anything after the $100,000. Why? Because I build it to 100. I don't need you. If you don't come in or don't come in, I will still continue doing the 100,000. Grow it from 100 to 150 per month. Then you help the office grow. That's the return on investment.
Mm-hmm.
I usually like to give a percentage, a base, and a percentage that comes in after the average collection of the office. Okay? With the back office and front office, I set a goal for the month. Let's say the goal of the month is 150 for July. And if we get to 150, everybody gets, $100. If we get to 160, we'll make that 150. If we get to 170, we make it, I just taper it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's an excitement, goal-driven, fun exercise that everybody's like, what's the production? What's the collection? How are we doing? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? So everybody is included. So imagine you have 4 people and you get to goal number 1. You paid everybody $400 because of $100, but you have gone up 20%, 10% above what your average is, which makes a huge difference. So it's a win-win situation.
Gotcha. So that's front office and back office.
Managers get separately, everybody else gets another pool.
And then also associates and hygienists get a whole different.
They work differently.
Okay.
Associates, in my way, they make a nice amount depending on if they work harder, they make more. Their goal should be if their schedule is full. And they communicate. They may want to make sure their schedule is full so that they're not sitting around because they get bored. And you said associates and hygienists. Hygienists gets bonus on the number of patients shown. I think that's fair. This way, at least they're getting excited that I want 8 patients. Give me 10 patients. And, hygienists are fantastic, but they're also need to be able to see that I can see this patient in 40 minutes. Can I? Should I? Or do I want to see them one patient? And it's harder on their body. I know it's harder on their hands. It's a hard job, hygiene. That's why it's so demanding. So they need to get something in return if they're going to be seeing more patients. It's fair to my eyes.
Okay. So then if we rewind a little bit, you mentioned something when it came to marketing had to be on point. 2 things I kind of wanted to look into. That's part of what we wanted to discuss. You mentioned we roll out the red carpet. So the patient journey, if you can give it to us in like steps and details, what is that? What is the red carpet?
Basically what I said earlier, for them to come in happy and leave happier. From the point that they pick up the phone, the engagement and the attention to what they want, how they're feeling, listening to them, being patient with them, giving the appointment time when they want to be seen and catering to what their needs are. When they walk into the office, we're not wasting their time, making sure they feel valuable, getting them into their room as quickly as possible, take the x-rays, put them on the chair, have the doctor come in. The doctor needs to ask, why are you here? And take a moment and listen. Well, I'm here because my tooth hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What we usually do in this office is we take an x-ray of your whole mouth to determine if there's anything else that needs to be done. Doing the full mouth was focusing on what they came in for and giving them a treatment plan for the whole mouth, but focusing on fixing that area first. Because if they've made that decision of walking in, they've already made a change in their mind, wanting to do something. And if you don't help them succeed, they feel a failure about themselves. How many times you set a goal to do something, but it's hard for you to get there? And when you get there, you're like, just do it for me. Just get it done.
Yeah.
If you tell them, well, we did your diagnostic today, go and come back in a week for us to start the treatment. They go and they get busy and they'll never come back. So try to take care of them today for them to fall in love with you today.
I like that.
Then make sure you communicate. You are my patient now. I want to see you every 6 months, year to make sure this will never happen again. I will see you tomorrow. I love to see patients within 3 days if possible. I hear one doctor say, next week on Wednesday at 10 a.m. No. See me tomorrow. I'm hot now. Get me in the chair. Cancel whatever we have to do to get me in tomorrow morning, because there's a time limit. Once they leave, you're not the priority. It doesn't hurt anymore.
So if their schedule is packed, like they have, treatments, things like that to do tomorrow.
3 days.
3 days.
If your next 7 days is full, then you need to look outside of the box. What you could do to delegate to be able to not lose patients like this. For example, great point. Let's say I am booked for the next 7 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I bring an associate once a week to do all my 2-surface and 3-surface fillings in order for me to see more new patients and bring my production up, and do the calculations to see if it's worth it? Or do you want to be plateaued forever? You want to grow, you need to make changes. Changes are so hard, or having someone else come in your little territory is extremely hard. But if you want to grow, you need to make some sort of a change somewhere.
Yeah, that's interesting. I feel like they would need something like this, something like you to tell them to, like, hey, this is what you're going to have to do, right? In order to change, because you're kind of in the day-to-day so much that you're like, I don't know how to break out of this plateau. I don't know how to break even, kind of a thing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So that's interesting. You also mentioned you utilize AI. What specifically do you utilize?
I love AI. AI is the future. I don't need to say it. Everybody knows. People are freaking out. If something's scaring you, it's because you don't know what it is. If you don't know what it is, go find out what it is. So we are one of the first pediatric dental office that brought AI. Basically, we take an X-ray and it blocks out all the cavities. And it says if there are big cavities, little cavities. For adult teeth, it says if you have calculus, if you got recession. So it's amazing, right? And the benefit it does for me is, again, we're fast paced. I have a doctor that sees recall patients all day long. They see 50 patients a day. When they see X-rays over and over again and their eyes gets tired and they don't see the difference between the cavity or a regular, or the quality is not as good. So if the AI is already highlighting all the cavities for you, you diagnose better. When you want to tell a parent or an adult that there's a cavity right there, they don't know the difference between the dark cavity or the light cavity or the shades of an X-ray.
Yeah.
That's literally showing you a beautiful box. And you say, those are the cavities. Wow, that many? Can we fix it today? Let's go ahead and get you in. And it's very easy. It's like back in the days when we started having intraoral cameras. They started seeing their teeth on the big TV and they were all mesmerized by it. Kind of like that in a whole different scale.
Interesting. Okay. So then specifically, what's the technology called that you utilize?
We have Detect AI. It's associated with Henry Schein.
Okay, nice. And it works pretty good? Like it does everything you guys need to do?
It does its job and it gets smarter. So at the beginning when we got it, I got a couple of complaints from my senior dentist saying, it doesn't work, waste of money. Evelyn, what did you do? I'm turning it on. And I'm like, give it time. It's a change. It gets worse before it gets better. And then throughout time, it gets smarter. Now they're very grateful.
Wow.
And we've got around 90 dentists in our company and they love it. I get feedback and their feedback is very positive.
Man, that's awesome. And then one other question I wanted to ask you is you mentioned at the very beginning, strong staff members, they have to have a right hand and left hand. So break it down for me. What does that mean specifically? Like, is there an assistant for each side or?
No. So this is what it looks like. You run this. beautiful podcast that you do. You have someone that's helping you, right? Who's your
Mhm.
right hand?
Yeah, I don't know what he is. He's like everything. Yeah, he's a great guy. Yeah.
That's your right hand.
Okay.
And if you could depend on someone, it's fantastic. It's when you're trying to do it alone. And if you go missing one day, things might fall apart, but someone is holding it up for you. So if I want to go on a vacation, nobody has to freak out because I have a right hand. My right hand is my assistant that knows everything and can get into my emails if she needs to, or send out an email, or be able to take care of something. And I have my regional managers. They are my left hand. They're in communication with all of my offices. I'm not controlling 17 offices. I'm running them.
Mhm.
I'm making sure anything goes wrong, there's communication. Let's narrow it down to an office. Office managers' right hand would be the front staff member. Their left hand would be the back office supervisor or the main DA in the back. And that's their right hand and left hand. And the doctor right hand would be the office manager, and their left hand would be the back office supervisor or the main DA.
Interesting. So their job descriptions is very, very much different, right? That's the ones where you would want, you said like the qualities of their personality and who they are would be very different than the one who's just like a clock in, clock out type of person.
You want to be able to have someone that's going to drive you to the next level, not just come in and be happy and content with what they have, which is, again, fine for some positions, but not the main people of your office.
So then, Evelyn, where do some people get stuck then? Is it more in the finances? Like, okay, I just took out Bank of America, $1 million loan, build my office, did construction, didn't go well, all this stuff, right? And then now they're open. Man, I can only afford a front office and one dental assistant. That's it. I can't even pay myself yet, kind of a thing. Where can you go from there in order to like get to where you're at? But in the sense of they don't have the money or bandwidth for bonus systems, hiring a right and left hand, or maybe they don't even have enough in their area for someone to come in. Hygiene's hard to find, things like that.
So where would they go from where they are if there's only front desk and back office?
Yeah.
Count the number of new patients. Make sure there are no blood coming in and we're not wasting time. I would set up a day where we could all go out and put our mind together where we could succeed. Look at the unscheduled treatment plan, making sure we're bringing all of those patients back in, making sure that no one leaves with knowing how important they are for our office. Growth comes. It all depends how fast it comes to you. But being in that part, if you're already open for 3 years and you're still where you are, maybe that's how you want it. But if you want to go to the next level, then you got to look back what you have done. And if it's not working, then you got to change it. And you have to be ready for change. You can't come in and listen and say, I've been with the same staff members for the past 5 years and we're still making $100,000. Some months are we're at 80, some months are with 120, but we've never hit 150. Then you're fine with it. Maybe there are things that you could do different, but you're not ready for the change. That's maybe the time that they could get a consultant to comb through the office and help them detect where the issues are to improve the office.
So if that looks like, hey, you're not ready for the change, but you're ready to do things differently, to you, what would it look like if someone was ready for the change?
I would definitely look at the patient scene, number of new patients. It all goes back in circle again for you to be able to see, do we need a new treatment plan coordinator? Do I need to change my office manager? Because I know when it's a small office and it's only 2 to 3 staff members, they become a family and they depend on each other and they want to write them up or let them go. But sometimes you're doing them a favor and yourself a favor when you're letting someone go like that. Or grow your office and bring someone else in to help you detect that. I used to be a consultant and I know I made a lot of changes in a lot of offices and they were grateful. So maybe it's time for someone to take a look at your office. Maybe you don't see it. When someone else from the outside comes, they're like, that's where the problem is. I never saw it that way. Or you knew it deep down, but you never wanted to actually act it. And someone else will guide you and help you and hold your hand to make that change.
So how did you get the whole team aligned around this level of excellence? Because you have how many team members?
Over 550. I'm glad you brought this question up. It's an amazing training. I was listening to a couple of your podcasts, a couple of nights in a row, because I was so interested to see who you are and what you do and how you speak. And I was so impressed. And it all goes back to how you hire, who you hire, how you train them, and are you going to be able to retain them and keep them excited and for them not to run away or for you to need to fire them in 3 months. Every person that walks into the office, you cannot give them a job. You need to find the right person in the right seat, or else you're not going to succeed. We do intense training. If we hire an office manager, it takes a whole month before we really give them any main duties for them to do. Why? Because of the fact that they need to know exactly how we run the office, and they need to sit at every position in the office, even the back office. I don't want my manager to sit there at the front desk who's getting probably half of what they're getting training them. How much is this person going to hate the doctor? Now, let's scale down to a small office, right? Let's say you want to hire an office manager as a dentist. As a dentist, I better know my software. I better know what I want. As a dentist, we need to be able to understand numbers. If we don't, we cannot blindly hire someone and give them everything to do without understanding what Delta Dental's benefits are. Because if they don't do it, you're going to lose money. If you think that they know better than you need to get trained also. There's so many ways to get yourself very quickly trained on how billing is, how marketing is, how a manager needs to be able to run. Watch videos, put YouTube videos, watch it together. So yes, we do train front desk, back office. If we have a back office that we hire, we make sure we buddy him up with someone. It's a win-win situation. One of the DAs once came up to me and said, why do I need to train her? I said, because we need another dental assistant. But what do I have to train her? Because you're the best. But what do I get out of it? You get out of it that you're going to have someone else help you so that you're not so overworked and you won't complain. Okay, fine, you're right. There is an answer to everything. And we've always had those smart people that come up with the best target to be able to question you. As long as you explain to them, we're growing. So if we get one more person on the team, it's going to be a win-win situation. They're understanding about it.
What have been some of the mistakes you feel like you made when it came to hiring that looking back now, you're like, if I could change that, I would have totally changed it? When it came to like hiring or like onboarding with team members?
One of the things that I love to do is bring them in for a working interview, because you kind of get a feel of who they are and what they do. Sometimes it takes them a little bit time for them to come out of their shell. Some people are great and they observe really quickly, and some people observe a little bit slower, depending on what position. If you're going to give a very slow staff member to a very fast-paced dentist, it's going to fail. You're not going to succeed. But if you're going to pair them correctly, then it would be great. Sometimes that slow dental assistant would be great for that little slow dentist that's in the back, that's older or would like to work a little bit slower and he likes it old school. No problem. They'll be a great match. So every dentist have their own mate. They just have to be collaborated correctly together.
So Evelyn, talking to you, I notice it's like every dentist and every team member has their own goals, has accountability, and they have their own little world where they can do what they want, like be slower, depending on how many in the hygienist patients they see. It's not like everybody has to do this, hit this, work faster. How'd you create something like that where it's not such a rigid system, but there's flexibility, but they're still following the overall bigger picture system?
I love the way you said that. It's 100% what you're saying, correct. It kind of comes with experience to put the right person in the right seat, being able to understand them. The workforce has changed. We all know that. We know that people without their cell phone literally feel like they're paralyzed. We need to educate them. Some of the staff members that come in to our company come with a big baggage of backgrounds, maybe not a great work ethics, and we literally help them. And once you are their right hand and left hand, in their life, they never go away. They might be bitter at the beginning and it takes them time, but eventually they come around and they stick with you. But you have to have that patience. It has changed. It's not like back in the days when I was a dental assistant and I used to work for this doctor and he would get mad at me. He would just throw the instrument at the wall or smack me on my finger when I give him the wrong instrument. You can't do that in this day and age. So it's definitely changed, but we cater to our staff members. We make sure that we are flexible. If they have to go to a doctor's appointment, if they have to take care of their kids, family comes first. We have birthday parties. We go out to dinner. We have lunch parties. We have ice cream parties. We celebrate. We have fun, but we work hard. And it's a little small thing in this area that if you could succeed in children's medical fun zone, you have been successful because it is fast paced. We keep people accountable, but we've got the best dental assistants at it front us. We love our staff members. I'm a staff member, so I feel the same way.
That's beautiful. Final question to reflect for our listeners. If a private practice owner listening wants to move into the top 10%, but they feel stuck in average results, what 3 things would you tell them to fix or focus this upcoming quarter?
Make goals, look at it every day, make a change and stick by it.
So make goals, look at it every day, and then stick by your change.
Make a change and stick by it, yes.
All righty. And then any final piece of advice you want to give to our listeners who have been open for a while now, but they're kind of afraid of change, or just anybody looking into practice ownership?
Live and breathe AI. Look into AI. Don't run away from it. Go towards it. Also, if you want to look outside of the box, look for international call centers that can help you pick up phone calls or do outbound phone calls for you. There are some places that help you out. And I have 55 people in Philippines, and they're my best employees.
Really? Is it a company?
I have my own. We built something offshore, but there are so many. The one that I love is Support DDS. I recommend them all the time.
Awesome, Evelyn. Thank you so much for being with us. It's been a pleasure. But before we say goodbye, if anyone has any questions or concerns that they want to ask you, where can they find you?
They could look me up at Evelyn Consultant at cdfzone.com. They could email me at evelyn@cdfzone.com, LinkedIn, anywhere. Evelyn Lahiji.
Nice. So that's going to be in the show notes below. And Evelyn, thank you so much for being with us. It's been a pleasure, and we'll hear from you soon.
Thank you so much.